Hi, guys. How are you today? Time to talk housewives. So, we're going to talk about how I was approached again this weekend by another person close to the Mary situation, and just talking about what life is like now with the cult and how kind of fearful they are since everything's coming out in public. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Lisa Rinna's family. Well, they're not all speaking to each other. It's crazy. We'll talk about that, and then we're going to talk about last night's episode, and we can't forget the fact that Mary called Jenny slanted eyes. So that means she doesn't like black people, her own race, because she won't stop at 7-Eleven. She doesn't like Mexicans, and now she doesn't like Asian people. I don't make this up, people. I really don't. So let me go ahead, play my intro, allow more people into the room, and then I'll get right into it. Hi, guys. How are you? Hey guys, we're getting closer and closer to Christmas. Remember, that's my favorite time of the year. It's almost here. I'm so excited. Down for the countdown. Today's Monday and it is Saturday, so I can't wait for that. But in the meantime, that doesn't stop the rumors and it doesn't stop the stories. Let's start really quickly with this Lisa Rinna story. Oh my God, her family basically is. How should I put this? Falling apart. Let me put it that way. Because a couple days ago, and this story came out this weekend, and I'm covering it really quickly because I just have to have this story in my lineup. A couple, about a week ago, Delilah came out and posted that TikTok video saying that her parents should pay for her trauma. Okay, so the rumors are that that family is falling apart. I guess Delilah has suffered from some childhood traumas, and I don't know what the trauma is, but it's something has something to do in her childhood. She feels that she needed help with this. She wanted them to pay for her to go to a therapist and things like that. And according to the rumors, Lisa Rinna is refusing to give any money to her whatsoever. Now she's going around publicly saying that she's trying to make Delilah independent, and that if it was really necessary, she would give her money, but she's trying to make her independent. This is makes no sense. What? For childhood traumas? And I have a feeling maybe it could be things that happened to her as a result of your parenting. I'm not throwing shade at Lisa Rinna. I'm just saying with her food issues, with her Xanax addiction, you always love Xanax. You admitted it on TV that you put it in your smoothies in the morning. I mean, they've got some serious problems going on here. And it's stuff that Lisa Rinna is going to have to confront. You can lie to the public and say it's because I want to make her independent. I'm not going to give her any money. When somebody is begging you, your child, saying, I need help, and you got to pay for this because you're the one who caused it, you guys better listen. You and Harry better listen up. Her only response was she posted some family photos and whatnot, but she hasn't come out publicly and said anything about it. You don't have to come out and publicly and say anything about it. But what you got to do is handle things behind the scenes. Your daughter is crying for help. When she made that video, when she was obviously under the influence, she was talking really fast, her hands were shaking. Remember that video, Lisa? And we were like, this girl's in trouble. She's in trouble. Help your daughter. Stop worrying about fame. Take some of that money, that $5 million that your pal Erica Girardi gave you, and put it into your daughter's therapy. And then you go with her. The whole family needs to go. This needs to be taken care of. Now, I'm an outsider. You don't need an outsider to tell you this. This is something you already know. You could lie to the public. And as a matter of fact, I see why you lie to the public. It makes more sense. We don't need to be in your business anyway. But if you don't do anything with Delilah, this girl is going to suffer dearly. I mean, she needs counseling. She needs therapy. She has a drug problem. This is not going away on its own. So you not talking to her because you're embarrassed because she put the problems out in the public. It's just asinine. Stop worrying about what the public thinks and take care of your daughter. This is sad, sad, sad. And you have, and even worse, on your show, you have the nerve to be in everyone's business but your own. Can we talk about what childhood trauma she's talking about? Can we talk about on the show that maybe you were a bad parent and you messed her up with your shortcomings? I'll put it that way. Bad parents don't mean to be bad parents, but bad parents always affect their children. And when that happens, it sure would be nice if a mom stepped up to the plate and fixed this. I'm sure Amelia has some trauma from her childhood. You taught them not to eat. So that's what I wanted to talk about. We'll talk about this later, but I wanted to make sure I covered it and put it in my video collection. Now we got to move on to an even crazier subject. Let me bring up Perry and Diva. Where's Perry? Hey, Perry.
What's up? What's up?
Hey, Diva.
Hey.
All right.
Slide your banner across up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alleged. All that was alleged.
Yeah.
But we got a bigger problem here. We have a bigger problem here named Mary Cosby. So I got a phone call this weekend from an ex-cult member. This is probably like the 7th call saying the same things. But this one added a little bit more to it. And Perry, if I leave anything out, you were a witness to the phone call, let me know because I didn't take notes. Mm-hmm. So this is what this person said. They're saying that without a doubt, Mary runs a cult. And I don't know if you guys remember when Uncle Ernie came on the show, Diva would not let this question evade him. You kept saying, where is the money coming from? And then he didn't answer. And then you reworded, well, how's all this being funded? You kept rewording the question, but really he didn't give you any answers. And he didn't give you any answers because according to this cult members, the money comes from the churches. The cult members. Okay. Yeah, they make you pay money to them according to your income. How is it explained to us? Even if they want everything to go to the church and they make you feel guilty, they hag you, they hound you if you don't hand over the cash. I believe it was like this. If you got food stamps, they wanted you to give them, hi, Gabor.
What's good?
What's happening, bro?
You came in on us explaining Mary Cosby's cult. Now, I know you don't watch the show, but you don't have to watch the show to understand what a cult is. Mm-hmm. So they have to hand over their money. And it was explained, if you got food stamps, and let's say you got food stamps to feed your family, they want you to give them 90% of the food stamps. And that was true, right, Perry, that she got food stamps?
I'm not sure the percentage of the food stamps, but even when you was on food stamps, they would give a certain amount, whatever, they tied and things, and then they would buy food with the food stamps for their restaurants and things like that. Like they would buy food for their restaurants, or it's a gamut, right? It's just that they would come in, and then she also said, I don't want to overjump my boundaries.
The person.
Right. No. I'm saying, but they have all these businesses too that they hire the church members to work there.
The cult members.
The church members. Yeah, I'm gonna say church members.
It's a cult. It's a cult.
I know. No, I'm gonna say church members to go there and work, but they ain't getting full salary. Yeah, and that's how I think they can track how much they get paid. Mm-hmm. They give them a little bit, but these people are really working for free.
So what happening for me? How y'all up here messing up my pay? Y'all not paying me what I'm worth, and y'all taking money.
It gets worse.
And you taking money on top of the little money you giving me?
It's a scam. It gets worse than that. So I want you guys to think. I don't know.
That's worse than having a pimp.
It is. It really is. And let me tell you how worse it gets. You think it gets worse than that? It gets worse than that. This person verified that they agree with Uncle Ernie that they tried to kill him before. if you try to leave the cult, and I want you guys to think, remember this, there was a cult, FLDS cult leader. His name was Warren Jess. If you tried to leave the cult, they would follow you. They would cause physical harm to you. Someone said one time they were shot at. They take physical action to keep you in this cult. If you didn't follow the rules, they will put you on a punishment. Like you couldn't do activities for a certain amount of time. It's brainwashed. And this person also said that the church is racially equal. They also get ex-Mormons who last night, Heather's brother described the Mormon church as a cult. That these ex-cult members that figured we don't want to be in the Mormons right now. It's too restricting. So they go to Mary's church and they do teach them similar teachings as the Mormons. So what they're comfortable with, but they're just going from one cult to another cult.
Right.
And these people are physically scared of Mary and Robert. And I'm being told Robert is worse than Mary. And these people are physically scared of them. And then get this, I'm being told that the people in Utah in the church from Utah watch this channel because I keep covering it, because I bring on Uncle Ernie. And they told me, be careful, Sherelle. Physically, for your safety, we are worried.
What?
Now, first of all, cold or no cold, that kind of stuff don't scare me. Remember, I was telling you yesterday, Gabor, a couple days ago, I'm not scared of cults. I'm not scared of what do you call, like superstition, stuff like that. I'm not. I was raised in Detroit. You can't like no, you can't tell me you're God and I believe it. These are people that are already used to being controlled mentally,
right?
And so, in the beginning, I said, I don't get it. I don't fall for stuff like that. Well, I had a different environment. So if this was in half the town seems creepy, I'm never going to Utah for vacation. No.
I mean, for one thing, it's not,
I'd rather go to Mississippi where you got a damn thing to do there.
For you, it's not safe to go.
So this person talked to me a long time. So what I'm going to do is put everybody's notes together and I'm going to keep reporting on it because it's the truth. Now, I said this a year ago when people really thought I was crazy, but until people start coming on the show saying Mary runs a cult and it's affecting people's lives and they can't get out the cult and they're fearful for their safety, until the public realizes what's going on, I'm going to keep running this story. Diva, your thoughts, because you kind of was saying something doesn't feel right here. You wouldn't let Uncle Ernie out of the financial question. How come? How did you know something didn't feel right financially?
Because I mean, there's people that own mortgage companies, but are they all billionaires? I mean, he was saying billions, and I'm just like, how is this so? Like, you got to give us a little more history on the entire situation. Mary is problematic at best, right? She acts like she's one of the 13 disciples and that she was at the Last Supper with Jesus, and she has close contact to him, right? So most churches, they teach, and I want to say, I can't remember the exact verse right now, but it's in the Bible. It's Malachi something, and it says, bring all of your food to the storehouse or something like that, but it's a 10% what they're saying. You're supposed to bring 10% of what you make back to the church and you donate it, right? So that is in the Bible. That's what most churches preach off of, like you give the 10%. Now, if they trying to pimp these people and get more than 10%, that's problematic. But see, people got to use discernment. It's one thing to believe in whatever religion you believe in, but when something doesn't make sense, I don't care who it is that's talking to you. It doesn't make sense. You're not getting on my cash like that. I don't care who you said, so what? Now, I'm going to give you what I can. I believe in tithing. And also, too, if you read stories on people that are millionaires, they all tell you, they may not say use the word tithing, but they all tell you they do some type of philanthropy. They give away their money. They give it to charities. They give it whatever. So it's all kind of the same premises, but you don't give all your money and then you starving at home. Like
Yeah.
that doesn't even make sense. But
Yeah.
even her tagline is problematic because she said, "If you come for me, I will send Jesus after you." Girl,
Right.
come on now. You not that close. Like you can talk to God, but I can't. That's
Mhm.
why, and I do understand when people get a little brainwashed, right? Because most people join organized groups because one, they're lonely, or maybe they want to have a sense of belonging. It's different reasons as to why people may join whatever group they join. But when you're standing in front of, whether you call it the pulpit, the congregation, or whatever, you have a responsibility to tell the people the truth. You don't manipulate them and tell them, give me all your money and all that stuff.
Mhm.
She's a whole hot mess.
Gabor, do you think you could get manipulated and get brought into a cult? How are you
Absolutely
so
not.
sure?
Girl, if it don't sound right, it ain't right. First
That's
of all,
what
I'm eyeing you when you want 10% of mine. You want what? You want me to give what?
Yeah.
And where is it going?
Mhm.
And everybody
Yeah.
giving it? Okay, I got
Yeah.
questions about my money. Where is it going? But my whole thing is, I don't think I feel sorry for the people who being manipulated. I mean,
What
if you
what
just
if
if you so easily manipulated, I mean, if
well, let me ask you this. What if
that's
you
part
were
of the
born
game.
into that life and that's all you know?
What's all I know? Get messed
Cult
over?
behavior.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
What
I
about once you get yourself in the situation and you can't leave? There's guards.
how?
There's no.
How? Why
How
can't
you
I
gonna get
leave?
out, Gabor, if they're threatening violence
What do you
against you?
mean? They didn't start making guns when they made theirs.
Oh, Gabor.
What do you mean?
Exactly.
I mean,
No.
Terry, how do you get yourself out of that? Seriously, if they are threatening violence against you.
Just don't go no more.
No, the whole thing is, I think in order to get out of it, you get to be real with yourself and
Yeah.
stop living in a spiritual sense. Well, I'm getting mistreated, but it's for this reason. People say in relationships, anything like, oh, well, she's no good for me, but I need to be there for her, or whatever the case may be. I'm just saying that you get to be real with yourself and then say, hey, you know what? This is what's
How are
happening.
you real with yourself, Perry, if you've taught since
Open your
Pampers?
damn eyes and see 10%. If the church ain't got no damn bigger, if they ain't got no new furnace, new AC, new windows, and I'm paying 10%, and she coming in with a damn Gucci bag, okay, Gucci drawers,
Bentley sitting on 22.
and some hooker stockings, okay, we got an issue. I'm saying open your eyes, but most people do it, and then a lot of them, it seems like they do it because it was in the family tree. Like, oh, my grandparents, I don't want to do it because my grandmother going to look at me a certain way that attend the church. I think most of them just sort of follow the flock. You know what I'm saying?
Now we're joking around because we're strong-minded and we weren't raised in that.
Right.
But there are people that are petrified. Mary ought to be ashamed of herself, her and Robert. First of all, just it's so many levels to be ashamed of themselves. Marrying granddaddy, cutting your grandmother out, your parents, your mother and her siblings out. The whole thing is just quite scary. But I think that, and this is not my opinion. Diva mentioned this earlier when we were on the phone. She thinks that Mary got some kind of hold over the women on the show.
I'm feeling Erica Jane all over this, like all over again. I feel like deja vu. It's like they all know this is problematic and there's a problem, and nobody wants to speak up. I'm gonna say except Jenny, so she giving us a little something. She's like, no, you said you did not believe Jen, and everybody else knows she said that, and they just sitting there acting like, no, this didn't happen.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is going on here? Speak up, people. Then she goes off to the side and speaks to Jen and tells her all kinds of lies. And then she slipped up and said that she was guilty. And then she was like, I didn't say that. She's a mess. She's a mess. But
let's talk about the most important scene last night is that Jenny's dinner function where she brought everybody together to experience her Vietnamese culture, in which Mary came out and started right when she sat at the table. She said, "You look very lovely tonight. Your eyes look real slanted." She said this to an Asian person.
Yeah. See, Mary don't give a damn. Okay.
She really, your eyes
She
look
really
real
don't.
slanted.
Black,
You
Mexican.
know what she was saying.
It don't matter with her, right? It really don't matter with Mary. And I think Dave, I mean, the reason why her and her albino husband, grandfather, whatever hell he is, because he going through some things. But I tell you what, like, I think Dave Chappelle said it in their mind. They saying what Dave Chappelle said a long time. I'm rich, bitch. You know what I'm saying? That's all they care about is riches.
And I want people to understand this. It's a whole different culture and feel than New Jersey, than New York, than Vegas. Utah's in a separate little island. It's different.
Right.
So religion rules the state. They're the people up there with 6 and 7 wives. This cult. Because in last night's episode, it was. Hold on, someone's trying to tell me something. Hold on. The church website doesn't have a listing of their different ministries, board of trustees, etc. That alone is a red flag. And Mary is listed as the person officiating. She's trying to say, you know how you have different people in different positions? They're just listing Mary. It is sad because I'm like Gabor, I'm like Diva, I'm like Perry. I didn't grow up with this, but
I grew up with it.
You did?
But it wasn't no code. I mean, my family grew up paying tithes and stuff every month.
You didn't give your last, did you?
No, they did not.
Did anybody ask you to refinance your home?
Oh, no.
Out of all fairness, though, I say this, though. You got all kind of churches, whether it's outside Mormons or Mary's Coat or whatever, that I'm telling you, people do give. Like, and when Gabor said, why would I give my last? Where's the money going to? They'll give 10%, 20%. And then I think what they do in these places like that, they'll read off the one who give up the most percentage. Like, oh, the Jones family gave up 40%. You know how the next person feels less than because they only gave 10. They'll boost their amount up to fit in. All of them doing it for a purpose, but it's a lot of churches ripping people off.
Can you answer this quick question before I move on? Who is snoring?
Oh, I'm sorry. That's Titan.
That's his dog. That's his dog. His dog has sleep apnea. Someone says, Mary saying repeatedly to Jen that you had no clue was epic. You said this, Diva, because that was an example of the pot calling the kettle black, making the Freudian, I can't say that, fraud slip. I'm praying you're guilty. Oh, I mean not guilty. Yeah, let's talk about that dinner. Okay, it was a mess. Hold on, I got one more. Are they? Oh wow, are they related to Bill Cosby?
Hell, they might be. They putting something in somebody's damn drink.
One more. I feel bad for Mary's son. Ooh, listen. What is Mary's son? Your dad is your great grandpa? I'm confused. I bet he knows the real truth, or he may be brainwashed as well. So that's funny that you mentioned the son. Some of the people that I talked to mentioned the son, and they said she kept him away from people. They don't know why. They said they can list how many times on their hands that they seen this kid. It was like once every couple years. He didn't come out a lot, so they barely knew that her and Robert had the son. And on TV, it feels like the son doesn't want anything, not that close to the mom. Like he wants his space. And then we know because of the court case, that he has a girlfriend that they brought into the house. But let's talk about last night's fiasco dinner. Mary was all over everybody was all over the place. Jen feeling upset because nobody wants to talk to her because you are looking at 30 years. Girl, you are not bringing me down. Jen steady lying, saying she didn't do anything when we were reading off the federal charges. Okay. And when your own ringleaders, people in the ring, are turning on you left and right, and everyone's pointing the finger. Let's talk about Sharif being there for her, but we heard the rumors you're going to divorce her. I guess he's taking, and not only that, oh my God, I'm getting so much. I'm going to have to do a separate video, me and Diva, and really break down everything that these cult members are telling us. But they are going around, multiple ones, saying that Sharif cheats with an S on Jen.
That's true. And then all this Ramadan shit. I mean, I'm just saying, no, when I say it that way, I don't mean as far as a religion wise, how Sharif was trying to just play it off like they were so much into this religion. The only thing he doing is bedside underneath some girls' eyes.
Harry.
Oh, my bad.
We got that. We've got God, what's her name? Heather Gay brother coming, crying, saying, I feel bad because I raised my kid in a cult. They're calling the Mormon religion a cult. Now, I don't know much about the Mormon religion, so this might be speaking out of ignorance, but I know that there's a portion of the church that lets you marry your cousins, okay, let you have 3 and 4 wives and 25 kids, and then I accidentally seen the, what's his name? Jess Warren video where they're taking on little kids as brides. And then Sky came on the other day and was saying how a lot of them run some kind of pyramid schemes. And, I'm not a religious person. I'm spiritual. I believe in a higher power. But organized religion to me was not a part of my life. Gabor, it was a part of your life?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think
we grew up in the church? We grew up in the church. My grandma made sure to have us in the church on every Sunday.
Do you think that it's a difference between organized religion and these cults?
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I don't think that we felt like we were. I don't think that we felt like we were being cheated. You know what I'm saying? We did for the church. It wasn't no big old church like Joel Osteen. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't a big church like that. When my grandmother gave tithes and stuff, we could see what was going on. We would have dinner together, after church sometimes, or we would travel as a church to another church sometimes. We'll have like Halloween parties and stuff and things. You know what I'm saying? Like our church was more like a family.
Yeah. So the church was a part of your life. The church wasn't your life. They didn't spank you.
Right.
Hit you.
No, we did get spanked by people in the church.
Oh, hell no.
You did?
They used to hit up. Yes, when we was in the back of the church acting a fool, they used to come and hit us upside the head with the Bible.
Oh, no, I got you there. No, I got you there. I'm talking about like the parents or, people
other
you
people
being
mama.
silly, right?
And I used to tell my mama, don't be letting the people put their hands on me, girl. You better tell the people not to hear.
That's a different kind of thing, though, I think.
We weren't getting beat like
right. That's what I'm saying.
But
I think the difference is this, right? I think people that grew up in the Baptist churches and all these churches, yeah, they still taking money. It's still organic. Let's keep it real, people. I mean, for most people, I just say, in my opinion, it's organic. But at least when you left the church, you had freedom of speech, freedom to do whatever the hell you want to do. But these people that's in these churches that we're talking about cannot go on social media without permission.
Yeah.
Your ass by not give up less than 10% or whatever the base amount is. In our old churches, if you didn't have it, you just didn't have it. Now, they might look at you like, yeah, I know you got the money, you just don't want to give it. But these people have to do it, and they fear for their life. I ain't never went to no Baptist church and feared like I'm going to leave here and go and do whatever, but I fear for my life. I ain't never felt that way.
Yeah.
So, Sherelle, I grew up in the church. I still go to church this day. I'm a tither, and back they would call it like, born and raised in the church. So, but the thing is, I still use my own mind. Every word that comes from what I would call the pulpit, from the pastor, the bishop, or whatever, I hear it. I take what I need. And what I don't need or what I don't really connect to, I leave it right there on the floor. It's not for me. But as Perry is saying, I still have my own right to go out and do what I want to do, and have my own freedom. If you ever seen a Dateline special or 2020, and you see these ex-cult members, they all tell you that they were controlled 100% from what they wore to how they did their hair to who they were sleeping with and all of that. And that to me is the major difference. Remember, what's her name? I don't want to miss her name. She even said she didn't speak to her sister for years when her sister left the Warren
Heather Gay.
Yeah, she said, I didn't speak to my sister for years because she was forbidden to, because you left what we was born and raised to know as the right thing to do. So you was an outcast, and she didn't speak to her own blood sister for years. So these people are controlled by the mind in a whole different way. And some of them are born right into it. If you are born to something and that's all you know, you think is right until you see something else. I heard a lot of these, they can't watch TV. There is no TV. So they're not getting exposed to something different. Everything about their life is controlled to the narrative that leader and that group wants you to see.
Even if it doesn't make any sense. Last night, it was on full display how Mary doesn't make any sense. She lied in the same sentences. Like she would, no, Perry, I'm serious. She said, I did not talk about you, Jen, at a table where she talked about Jen to everybody. Like, what?
And they all sat there.
And nobody said anything. What's the one? Lisa Barlow tried, but she was crying. She needed Meredith for support. Let me tell you, it would have went down a whole different way if she was at a table that wasn't cult members and the group of girlfriends like that. And I'm sitting at the table and you're gonna lie to me. And I'm like, you know how, bitch, no, you stop lying. Like,
Jenny tried to say something, but nobody was backing her up.
They were scared.
Yeah, they were scared. And I'm just sitting there like, so imagine if these ladies could be scared. Imagine Mary running a church and controlling a whole nother group of people. When you got everybody at this table who refuse to speak up and say one word, and they know what this chick said about Jen.
What do you think that when Heather was talking to her brother and he was explaining how he felt and how she gave him inspiration, what was those tears about? Just thinking, growing up in the cult, having flashbacks about what life was like? Because she was crying uncontrollably. It was bad.
I think that she's realizing as she's seeing a different world now, that her past and her childhood may not have been everything she thought it was. And then she lost some time with her own sister. So she's realizing, that maybe this wasn't it. Maybe it wasn't everything that I needed to know. And you can't get time back. So, it's hurting her. So now what she has to do is just move on from here and right now.
It's like, you mean all this time, all I had to do was open the door and go outside?
Right.
That's what those tears was like. Jen Shaw. Okay, we know why you're still on the show.
Lord,
you need money.
I sure do.
Gabor's a mess. We know why Jen Shaw's on the show. You need money. Sharif said last night, we got to downsize. I think they said it was going to cost
$1
$1 million.
Downsizing now was when why are we downsizing now after y'all done stole all the money and you done got caught?
Because she still needs attorneys. And I see what you're saying, Gabor. Why spend the money on attorneys? You know you guilty. Why is she even pretending like she's still innocent?
No, I'm just saying it would be better for you to act like that you can still live that lifestyle that you didn't steal no money. You know what I'm saying? Why not try to still live the way you want to live?
You said it makes you look guilty if you downsize?
Yeah, because now that you got caught, you can't take the money no more. You ain't making the money no more. So now it's time to downsize.
Right.
But
but she had no choice.
She the bitch that's showing up in a new outfit every scene trying to steal the show. You know what I'm saying? Trying to get the camera time on her. Nah, don't downsize. We want to see you. You was renting anyway. It ain't like you owned it.
Yeah.
I don't like.
Yeah. He's got a point. Gabor's got a point.
Well, no, I get what he's saying, but they get to answer your question. They had to downsize because now that she actually got caught,
they don't have the money.
She can't keep doing it.
Get rid of her.
That's the only thing that got them in the damn house was her extra
had a
skill.
bond. She should have had a bond. Get rid
Why
of her.
is she still on television lying? Why don't you just say I can't talk about it right now?
Because she
She's
need the
saying,
money. She need the damn paycheck now. She really need
Erica
Bravo.
Girardi came on with the paycheck, but just say I can't talk about it. When you start going into detail, saying I don't know these people, she's incriminating herself. First of all, I don't know these people. You didn't know them people you was working with. Stop lying. She's that's why last night was just full of crazy. We had
But it
everybody.
was just so over the top. It was so over the top. This the bitch that had 3 assistants.
Yeah, thank you.
3.
Yeah,
3.
yeah,
And now you want the downsides?
Uh-huh.
yeah.
They got to pay for them lawyers. They
Yeah.
they got to pay for them lawyers. Let me say this real quick about Lisa Rinna. She's another one, right? She coined the phrase "own it." So now what we're gonna need you to do is own up to what is ever going on with your daughter. Okay, you
Yeah.
stood by Erica Girardi to the end. You can't stand by your daughter. You want to make her independent. Now is not the time for her independence. After you help her get all the way together, go through the counseling, and you know she's on good footing, then you say, you know what, let me help you get yourself together, and you gotta eventually, you know, be able to stand on your own. But now is not the time. She's in crisis mode, and you're saying you need to be independent. No, girlfriend, you need to help your daughter get better.
Which daughter? Which daughter? Are we talking about the one that was with Scott Disick?
No, the other one, the blonde,
the oldest one.
I think Amelia is the youngest. But I feel that Lisa Rinna's lying.
The one that was going with Scott was the youngest, right? And the one with the blonde
I don't know. One was dark hair. The one
that youngest
was
was
dark
Jake
hair.
Scott, but the one that was in rehab, we talking about.
Yeah, that was the youngest one who dropped out of college.
Yeah.
She couldn't walk around college, but she could walk around the world with a grown man with 3 kids. Huh?
No. The other one. Not with Scott. She wasn't with Scott. Yes.
Wait. So the youngest one was with Scott, right? And the oldest one was going with
the youngest
actor.
one was with Scott. The other one had low self-esteem because she didn't think she looked as good as a young one, based off what her mama thoughts was.
The oldest one was a model.
They're both models. So one had blonde hair and one has dark hair. One's a brunette, one's a blonde. I'm talking about the blonde. Her name is Delilah.
The oldest one.
Yeah. I don't know which order is in.
Yeah, she's the oldest one.
I think she's the oldest one.
I don't know.
The one that's going through the issues. Yeah.
The blonde. Her name's Delilah. But I will say this: Lisa Rinna is lying when she tells the media, her representatives, that they're showing Delilah tough love. They're not giving her money, and she's upset. That's not what this is about. Your family's falling apart. I bet you this has nothing to do with money. That's her way of dodging the issues and trying not to look as bad as she is. The daughter said, "How about you help me with my trauma?"
That's the key, Sherelle. You just said it. She's worried about being exposed for what kind of damn mother she was, okay? And what you put into a relationship, whether it's a mother-daughter relationship or a relationship, is what you get out of it.
Yeah.
And now she want to just smooth it all over. And it's a damn shame when a mother can't swallow their damn pride to save their daughter. She just want to look good. And be honest with you, I don't see her on this show too much longer because she's not going to be able to stand the heat.
But see, Lisa Rinna is one of them girls who was determined to go out there and get it by any means. This is a woman who posed for Playboy twice.
Behind 7-Eleven don't matter.
She was the one who posed for Playboy twice, you know, and she wanted her daughters to be out. She wanted her daughters to be out there slutting it up like the Kardashians, and that's why that's what she wanted to be out there. Oh yes, that's just what she wanted to be. She wanted to be a Kim. She wanted to be Chris. She wanted to be Chris, but everybody ain't gonna disrespect themselves disrespect themselves like that, Lisa. Everybody ain't you. Them girls ain't you.
Yep.
Everybody can't pose for Playboy.
Thank you. She just put all of her shortcomings on them kids, and now they're coming to light like something ain't right here. Why am I strung out? Why am I on drugs? How come I'm not happy? Why don't I eat? They're confronting things, and she wants to keep running.
And then the last thing they think is, why don't my mama give a damn?
I grew up in the church in Mississippi. It's not like a cult because you have your own mind. Make your own decisions. Cult make everyone think you are evil if you don't do severe things. You are so Right.
That's right.
Last thing I wanted to confront, but one I want to talk about before we start taking calls. Hold on, I have another one. Sharif saying they need to downsize. Make me think he was aware that his income wasn't paying for their lifestyle.
Yes,
Damn
ma'am,
right.
Miss
Damn
Sheila.
right.
Right, Miss Sheila.
He knows she was stealing when he was cheating. Damn it.
The last thing I want to
In my
talk about before we start taking calls is Mary and her racist comments. I don't go in front of the 7-Eleven if black people are there. You look nice tonight in your slanted eyes. It was another one. Something about Mexicans. What is wrong with this chick? She has to know she's right. Is she racist?
Yeah, she's racist.
She's racist.
Yeah.
The words that come out of her mouth overall is just so problematic. I don't even know how they letting her get away with it. And because even after Jenny told her, like, listen, you said XYZ, she said, well, I do like your slanted eyes. It's like, she was like I was like, yo,
I'm only laughing because I couldn't believe it.
I'm like, she's absolutely insane. She's crazy.
Ariana says Lisa's using her daughter's pain and mistakes as a storyline. Yeah, she'll be talking about it next season. No, she won't. I don't think she will.
I don't think she is.
She will.
Do you remember?
Oh, baby, the storyline gonna be about Lois.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. She's not putting her family on there. Remember, what was the other sister, the richest sister that they left because she left because she was having the alcohol problems? Her name is slipping my mind right now.
Kim, Gabor's girl. Kim.
Remember, she tried to tell us all about Lisa Rinna's husband at that dinner one time, and they shut her down, and they made sure they kicked her off that show before she could run her mouth. Lisa
and they stopped the production of her book. Remember, she had a book.
Yes.
They stopped the production.
Let's talk about the husband.
Yes, she was trying to. Yep.
Andrea, sound off about last night's episode and Lisa Rinna.
Okay, I grew up in the church. I'm about like Gabor. I grew up in the Baptist church. My daddy was a deacon. He was a long-time deacon. But one thing my daddy said, he don't care what the preacher is saying up in the pulpit. You better know that word. You better know that Bible. You better know how to read. Okay, you can read what they telling you in the Bible. Somebody said, tell me, oh, it's in Bible. First thing I said, what chapter? What verse? Because I want to see it.
Yeah.
I want to see it. Mary is a cult. Did y'all notice last night when she was at the table talking? And just when she about to attack or say something crazy, her eyes rolled in the back of her head.
Every
time. All you can see is the white of those eyeballs. I had to rewind it 2 times to make sure I caught it.
Yeah, because you're saying that's like she's on a power trip. Like you better listen to me.
I mean, she's possessed. It's just like she get possessed. And all those women around there, they so afraid of Mary.
Yeah.
They are afraid. When she rolled them eyes in the back of her head, they get to shivering. They're scared of her.
Yeah.
Mary is a cult. Mary is crazy.
Would you say she's just as crazy as Jim Jones, another cult leader?
Hell. They both of them in the same boat. They crossed the river at the same time.
Yeah. It's about control. It's about having control over the other people. But if you think about it, she don't have a damn control over her life. She in that loveless marriage to her grandfather, and they don't even talk to each other and wishes she had a real man. Okay?
Right. One thing about my dad, when my dad was a deacon in the church, he was on the deacon board. And the deacon board wanted to raise the pastor's income to something like maybe $120,000 a year. My daddy was the only one that spoke up and said, and he said it like this, hell no, we ain't giving him no more money.
Yeah.
And they got mad at my daddy because he didn't go along with them. Y'all, my daddy was in the church for 50-something years. He left the church.
That's another thing about a cult. Enough is never enough. You could give them your left leg and they'll go in 5 days later and say, how about the right one?
He left because he wouldn't go along with them to raise that man's income. My daddy said, hell no, he gonna work like everybody else. And he left the church. He really did.
I'll say this though. Now I think Mary do have some control. I mean, when y'all feel like she don't have control, she knows she can control that old fool.
Oh
Mary
yeah,
is out there.
yeah.
Mary out there with some side pieces. Okay, in my opinion, I'm telling you, Mary's getting hers, and she know this old bastard gonna wait till she come home
You
and give
think
him
Mary's
his.
having an affair on Robert? Harry, where are
Oh
you
no no
getting
no no
this?
no 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 no, Sherelle, let's not sugarcoat it. We don't heard stories, and I'm telling you, yeah,
Oh, yeah, we have. I
she's
forgot
getting
about
hers,
that.
and she know that his old ass and he can get his freak on here or there, right? But she know he's gonna wait on her because
Mm-hmm.
in essence they sort of need each other to keep the coat going.
Shanti
But
says, right, Diva, that's like an Asian woman telling a
mhm.
black woman, well, I do like your nappy hair or wide nose. It's so weird that Mary is racist for of her own race. I can't, I mean, you run across people like that. When she
You
said
know
if
what?
she seen a black man standing in front of 7-Eleven, she would drive and go to another one. I was like, oh, she
And
racist.
you know what? And she wasn't even sorry. She was, but you know the thing about it, what she said, what came out of her mouth, she really thought it was okay.
Just no, she didn't. How could
Yes,
she
she
possibly think
did.
that you could tell an Asian person that they have nice slanted eyes?
Well, she thinks
She
she's
didn't
bigger than
care.
everybody else.
She
She
thought
think
it
it's
was
okay to
okay.
ride past a black guy, maybe even run his ass over. She think it's okay.
Yeah. She thought those words were okay, Sherelle.
I don't think I should.
Me and you, we could tell that was wrong. That was wrong behavior. That was wrong that came out of her mouth. But to her, there was nothing wrong with it. Because she came back and said the same thing. I do like your slanty eyes.
I just laugh. It's not funny. I just can't believe she said it. Lola, what did you want to add to the conversation? We talked about a lot.
I kind of want to touch on a bit on everything. As far as Lisa and her daughter, I told y'all before that this was like, remember when I mentioned this was karma and all that for the way she's treated other people, the way she judged Kim during her substance abuse without really even knowing Kim.
You and
I
Gabor will not get over Lisa's treatment of Kim.
No,
Okay.
that's just Kim. The way she treated Denise as well. She's disgusting.
Yeah.
She really honestly is. And then I knew her and her daughters had a weird relationship. Do you remember when she went out? I think it was dinner with it was Lisa, Erica, and her two daughters. And her two daughters were talking about how they learned to suck D from their mother. I knew their relationship was off.
What are you talking about? Remind me.
So remember when Lisa's daughter started modeling on the show? They
Yes.
did. Yeah, they went out to dinner. I think they were like they were like on a trip or something. I think Erica was there as well with them. And Erica's eyes got wide. She was like, "What the hell?" The girl, she couldn't understand what the girls were coming out of their mouth from the book. Yes, someone mentioned it from the book. So Lisa wrote a book or something from her book on sexual stuff, and the daughters were like, "Yeah, we learned as teenagers how to do stuff from our mom." In the book. That's when I knew that their relationship was not one of mother and daughter.
Wow.
So, what kind of relationship do you think they have, Lola?
I think that the nanny raised them. I think Lisa was never available in the way that a mother should be. And we're seeing that now. It's a ripple effect. Like we're seeing it now. Like she doesn't want to pay for them to get therapy, for her daughter to get therapy. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
She's not asking you to buy her the latest like Tesla or a house or something. She's asking you for mental health. And you're not providing that.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, are you like to me that's ridiculous. And then as far as the cult with Mary, I don't know if you guys ever seen Lisa Remini's documentary on how she was in Scientology and how these people
Wait, Lisa Rinna was in Scientology?
No.
Leah Remini.
Oh,
Leah.
okay. Yeah.
Leah Remini was a part of. She did a whole docu-series about her perspective and what she went through in Scientology,
Yes.
and she literally has video footage of these people chasing and harassing her
Yep.
and her
Yep.
guy with her on the show and other people. She's interviewed people on the show and how it was a cult. How since even as far back as the 70s, they were using people as free labor. Not only did you have to give them all your worldly possessions, but you would work on them for free.
Lola, you're absolutely right. The way that people describe Lola's, I mean, not Lola, sorry, Lola. The way that people describe Mary's cult is the same way they describe Scientology.
And Scientology is still going on strong. Like,
yeah.
like if you think about it, Scientology has only even gotten stronger, if anything else.
I don't know if you don't know anything about Scientology, but I watched the show.
I watched it too.
And did they ever find Betty? Was it Betty Miscavige?
Nope, they never did find a wife.
They
Nope.
never found.
They never
That's
found
what
a
they
wife.
say that's happened with Mary's thing, that people go missing.
Nope.
But that's not it. It's like these, and also I agree with Gabor. I do not feel bad for the parishioners who donate money. I mean, the perfect example would be Joel Osteen. How much money has Joel Osteen received? He has private jets, he has mansions galore. And when Houston went through that storm, he didn't even volunteer to open up shelter to the community. Like
he did not.
He did not. He was forced to do it, and you saw how he went on the news really quick to try to clean it up. Like these people, you have millions upon millions of money.
And he had Tyler Perry lying for him, saying that the doors was open when we had clearly already saw videos where they were telling people that they couldn't come in.
Yeah, they had I think they had like a note on the door and everything, like we closed y'all.
He said the church was flooded. He added to it too that the church was flooded.
Yeah, but that wasn't true. To me, religion.
Well, no, I'm not saying it was. I'm just saying he added that to it.
Okay, let me ask you this, Lola. Is every minister or preacher, because I'm not religious, so I don't know the structure, that runs these mega churches in danger of greed?
Yeah, some of them are.
I think greed is human. I think greed is human behavior, though. I think it's the individual. If you're predisposed to being a greedy person, you're going to be a greedy person no matter what position, whether you're on Wall Street, whether you work at Whole Foods, or you're a parishioner. But to me, religion and charity go hand in hand. Religion is the moral compass of society. You're supposed to go there to learn how to be a better person, not to steal from people and take advantage of the unprivileged.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Okay.
What happened?
Someone close to Mary wants to call in.
Let him call in.
Yeah,
All right,
everybody quiet.
I'm going to drop you guys. I'm dropping you guys. I'm dropping you, Lola. I'm going to drop you, Muse. I'm going to keep everyone else. Hi, how are you?
Hello. Good. I just wanted to chime in. I just took my, I hope you got to see me, but I just wanted to chime in. I think it's, I like the conversation about.
I can't hear you.
More of teens or things like
Miss Whitaker.
That. I think it's.
Oh my God. I needed that. Please call back. We want to hear from people that have something to say. I don't know. I lost the call. Hopefully she'll
You remember to Sherelle Tom.
Here she's back.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she's not coming in. Okay, I'm going to bring you up. Did you want to put your avatar back on? Okay, here we go.
Again, sorry about that, but I think
you sound better now. What were you saying?
When people don't understand why it is that people may give money or feel obligated to do more than the Bible talks about 10% is kind of where that came from. But it's deeper than that for some people. I don't think it's just a religion thing. I think it's a sense of belonging to something. I think there's something that is in a void in one's life where they really just want to belong. And when you're born into that, it's like anything else that we were raised to do. There's certain things that we're told from babies and children, be respectful, do this, do that. So when these people are bred that way and their families and their grandparents and their great grandparents and their aunts and their uncles and all that they've ever known in the Christian world or their church, that's why they followed. In this case, going to this particular church, Faith Temple Pentecostal Church, a lot of these people were raised and were born into this and were married into this and worked for the businesses. So I think it's not a sense of, oh, you're not smart enough until you've had something that has that light bulb that goes off in your head. Maybe you can't now pay your bills, or something catastrophic happens where you have to reevaluate where your money's going and how you're going to live. And maybe those places that you were giving to are not helping you, as we know the churches should be, there to extend an olive branch to help in with the resources that they have. And so that's one kind of mindset of, it's not that they're not smart, it's that there's a sense of belonging and a sense of void, and that brainwashing takes over when someone's weak. So when they're at a weak point in their life, or they're looking for something and somebody brings something along that makes sense to them, they latch onto that. And so that's what I feel that it is. As far as Mary being racist, this part is hilarious to me. I don't think she's racist at all against anybody. I think she just doesn't have a filter, doesn't care.
She doesn't have a filter. Isn't that common sense? You don't tell an Asian person how beautiful their slanted eyes are. What will make her do such a thing?
I totally agree. But you and I know that there are certain things that you just, right. I think that you're right. We know that those are just certain things you don't say. I mean, sometimes we all even think things. Somebody may walk by and we'll be like, but there's just some things you just know you don't say. She does not care. She speaks first. And then later on, when somebody calls her on it, then she wants to deflect. She never, if you notice, to me, my opinion, she's always deflecting. As soon as she's in the hot seat, well, what about Jen? You didn't ask Jen. We're not talking about Jen. We're talking about Mary. Yeah. So I think there's an issue with that control. She thinks she can control that show the way she controls the church or other people. And I think eventually people will start to see that they do have a voice and they do have a mind. And this maybe will create that platform for them, to be able to do that little by little. The more people share stories and commonalities, similar to Scientology, they start to talk to other people that have gotten out and they say, this ain't right. I don't feel right. I'm not okay with this. And then they realize they weren't the only one that felt that way. But in the moment, they felt like they were alone.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's.
Do you think the girls on the show are scared of Mary?
Mary's personality that I think is now being exposed on the show. Oh my gosh, they seem to be.
Anyway, I get that now. If that's all you know, and you grew up in that, and you don't, and that's why Heather was crying last night, because it's like a light. It felt like, here she's back.
An aha moment.
An aha moment. She can't get in. Okay, here. You want to put your avatar back on?
He heard my.
Hold on, bring her back up. Good boy. Hold on.
I think I don't want to disrupt your. I don't want to disrupt your show because I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's going on with my connection, but I don't want to disrupt your show. But I do thank you guys for me to speak, and I think it's very necessary.
It's just something. She's got a bad connection. It's not going to work.
Yeah. Oh, I love the Lord. I sure do.
I mean, I get that. I get what she was saying. I get when she says, if that's all you know, you know. And these people are physically scared of Mary. Like she's going to do something.
Sheree, I get that too, Sheree. I get that too. But I remember, like, my daddy said, you better know the word. You better know the word of the Bible. You know what I'm saying? You better read the Bible. Old folks tell you, read that Bible, read that Bible. And when Heather started crying with her brother, if y'all don't forget, her brother said this, look what I did to my kids.
Because he didn't know any better at the time.
Right. Look what I did to my kids. And he started crying. It's just like that. When they found out the truth, it's just like the water divided. They saw the light.
Yeah.
And they were so hurt.
I have a question though. In our day and age with the internet and how connected our world is that really an excuse to plead ignorance? Because y'all can hop on Amazon to order whatever you want, but you can't hop on the internet to learn something, to open your horizon.
I think it's bigger than that. I think it's bigger than that. Like
I
I
think
said, I
so
was
too.
born and raised in the church. In my
Right.
opinion, every pastor is not a crook. Everybody is not doing dirty or wrong. And you know, like I said, tithing is nothing to me because I was born and raised on that. Right?
Right.
It's 10%. That's what I was taught to do. And some people get emotional about the pastor getting paid. These pastors, the ones that are doing right, they're working every day. They should not get
Right.
paid for their work. They're doing funerals. They get phone calls when somebody mother, grandmother passed. They're getting calls all hours of the night, and they are supporting the people emotionally. So all of them are not crooks. And what happens is now that we have these mega churches, people automatically think, I mean, because yes, some of them have their jets and all that. This could be a whole nother conversation, right? But you do have to keep the lights on in the church. You do have to do certain things. So I don't think every one of them is a crook. But if you remember Tom Cruise's ex-wife, she left because of Scientology. There are so many people that tell you that these organized, religions, how they control your life and everything that you do, you have to
No, I
answer to them
understand
before
that.
you
I'm
do
not
it.
saying they're all crooks. I'm not saying they're all crooks. That's not what I'm saying. I'm speaking about me, the individual who is choosing to be a part of a religion. It is up to me, like someone else said on here, to know my Bible and know when I'm being quote unquote BS and do my own personal research. That is my responsibility. I'm not putting that
Yeah.
on the pastor. And I am not saying that all pastors are crooks, because I'm sure there are some pastors out there who hold out a healing hand and really care about the parishioners. That is 100%. That's a fact. But I do feel as if like Jamal Bryant is one who's done some good for the community, but also has evading taxes and stuff like that, and has done things. Let's be honest, he cheated on his wife with women, even in his own church. That is not most morale. Like, I'm just saying, and he's still preaching. They're still defending him and going hard for him. So it's like, to me, it's like, when do we hold them responsible? That's just me.
Let me address this really quickly. No, the last caller did not know Mary. I misspoke, and that's why it didn't make sense.
Okay.
She was the wrong person. But go ahead.
Lola, I agree with you. But I'm looking at some of the older people that's in the church. Not everybody know how to work a computer. Not everybody know how to Google.
All right. Let me get some more opinions in here because we're running out of time. Amuse, what did you have to contribute to the conversation?
I wanted to speak on both topics. Regarding Lisa Rinna, I really agree with what Perry was saying, that she doesn't want to be exposed. She doesn't want to help her daughter get the counselling and the therapy and so on, because that will just expose her part. She'd have to face what she played in that part.
Yeah.
So really, I think they just need to take her off, really, because it feels like her daughters don't want to participate in what she's got planned for them. Like, I think, was it Perry as well who said the Kardashians, she wants to be like the mum, and she wants the kids to follow in the same footsteps, but they're obviously struggling and don't want to do that.
Her children are headed, Delilah's headed for a downfall. I don't know if you guys remember, she said she was so high, she didn't know how she made it to work one day. Do you guys remember that? She's headed for a downfall. This is a red flag. Lisa Rinna is about to be exposed because those children aren't going to be able to hold on much longer.
And the dad, really, I mean, what's he doing as well? He just sits there silent, not playing any part. He needs to be involved as well.
He growing vegetables.
Did you call him?
Yeah, come on. He can't just sit there, and he's the parent. He has to be part involved.
His daughter grow mentally. That's what, instead of growing some vegetables, he needs to help them grow mentally into stronger people.
Yeah.
And
he's a disgrace as well, just because he doesn't say anything.
I'm trying to hold
But
up.
when it comes to this Mary and church and so on, I mean, all I can say is the devil works through many people. And
amen, Amuse.
And even the devil knows the Bible.
Yeah,
even the
many
devil knows the Bible.
disguises and so on. So it's really, I do feel sorry for the people that attend the churches and so on. And I know I could understand why they can be fearful if people are dropping dead or committing suicide and so on. There's a lot of spiritual stuff that can get involved. And if you're not strong,
really touching. Can you imagine people who
like a mafia?
The people who commit suicide feel like you have no way out. That's your only option.
Because they're just so deep into it, being brainwashed.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it's not just with the churches. I mean, you can see it with many things in life nowadays. People have forgotten to stop thinking for themselves. They
Right.
totally rely on, the government. They rely on the doctors, the lawyers. Someone has to tell them what to do. It's like they've forgotten how to think for themselves and don't trust their own thoughts anymore.
You guys, I have to speed this up because I'm coming back with Gabor, and I don't know if he was.
Did y'all see? I don't. I had seen.
Hold on one second, Gabor. So let me
Okay.
drop you guys and bring on a new crew because we'll be back with Portia after this. Thank you guys for calling in.
Adios, amigos.
Bye, Andrea.
I had
What were you
seen
saying,
on
Gabor?
Oprah.
What's up, Corey?
Hey.
Hey.
What were you saying, Gabor? Oh, I dropped him. Sorry, Gabor.
Y'all probably be more familiar with it, but it was a preacher who had all of his congregation members somewhere, and he had them take something.
Jim Jones.
That's his name? Oh, that's
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
Corey, sound off really quickly about Lisa and then Mary, or anything you want to talk about on last night's episode of Salt Lake City.
Yeah. I'm not going to talk about Lisa Rinna because that's just a lost cause. That's just lost.
Okay.
But Mary can't be a racist. She can be a bigot, but she can't be a racist because racism is a systematic thing of power. We don't have that power. So racism is about power. She can be a bigot, though. She is a bigot, I feel, because she keeps making these remarks, and I think she knows what she's doing. She knows what she's saying, but she doesn't. She's trying not to get it caught on camera.
Okay. I mean,
we're all confused. What are you talking?
I just say okay. I mean, for me personally, and we can go back and through the history and say she can't be. She's acting. If you seen a person, if Mary had lighter skin, she'd be a racist.
If a white person said
if the thought process is there, then your ass is a racist to me.
Okay. If a white person said the things that Mary said, we would be marching.
Right.
Yes, because they have the power to hold you down.
But Mary got power too. Mary is allegedly taking everybody's money, and she
her
got the
church
power
members, but not anybody else. You see what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, but it doesn't matter if she got the finances.
Technically, she's a bigot. Technically,
okay.
You know what, Sherelle? Though, let's do this. She's the leader of a group, right? And what leader who says they believe in a higher power is going to talk about anybody like that? And when it comes to religion and, the Bible, I can only speak from the Bible because, that's what I was taught from. When you read the Bible, it's not that easy to interpret. So what happens is the people depend upon the leader of the church who studied that profession to interpret the words of the Bible for you. You can read it all day, but maybe your interpretation is one thing, but they break it down for you if you have the right one and tell you what is what. And then you can go back and do some research yourself and maybe get some more. But whenever you go to a professional who has studied that profession, you tend to trust them. You go to the doctor because allegedly they studied to be a doctor, and when they give you a diagnosis, you may do some research at home, but you're going to trust the diagnosis. So that's why you go to certain professionals. That's why when people sit in the church, they believe it. But I think the real problem comes in when you're born and raised in a situation, that is all you know.
Yeah.
And then I say this. Now, I think personally, a racist to me, I'm not looking to know Webster dictionary or nothing like that. A racist is a person who hates somebody or discriminate against somebody from a different race, regardless, white, black, Puerto Rican, whatever. That's a racist to me.
Let me read the super chat really quick. Is it possible Lisa Rinna had her daughter do the Instagram video for a storyline? I don't think so. I saw pain in that girl's eyes. And what kind of storyline do you want that you're on Xanax, that you're hooked on drugs?
Right. Well, you had a storyline that your daughter couldn't even walk around the college campus.
Yeah.
She was sitting there, the daddy was cooking.
Yeah.
The daddy was cooking, she couldn't even eat.
She couldn't even eat.
And they was eating Wagyu.
What do I do?
Does
Is it?
Tomato
Do I
sauce.
pronounce your name Fo?
Fo.
hello?
Fo.
Hey.
Okay, we don't have a response.
Okay.
Yeah, it was crazy. Okay, and then Corey, wrap it up really quick because
Okay.
we'll be back in 15 minutes.
Okay, no problem. About the Mormon and all of that. Watch them. Watch the two little young guys that come around the neighborhood on bikes. Watch them because they're trying to get you into it. No, I've talked to several of them.
Are they really? I don't know. I know who you're talking about. I think
they
go
are. They're
every
trained to do
neighborhood.
this. They're trained to do this.
Is it Mormons that come around
Mormons.
on the bikes, or is it
Mormons? No, they're
Jehovah's
Mormons.
Okay.
They're two. They're normally
I just keep on
blonde-haired,
walking.
blue-eyed, and deep in the hood. And I'm like, why are y'all doing this?
You know, I just keep on walking. I'm busy.
Harry.
I'm busy.
Harry.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, we're not gonna do that. I was not ignorant.
No, it's okay. People are entitled to their opinions.
Oh yeah, no, and I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
You know, you come
Wow.
from a different age, and we understand. I understand you. I get you. I
Yeah, no,
understand.
yeah.
Oh, the shade, the different age.
Well, no,
Well,
I mean, I get it. I mean, the age or whatever, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's a
everybody
different
got an
word from
opinion.
where I come from.
I mean, everybody got an opinion, but also everybody got to have excuses too. Okay,
Okay.
so no. I'm only saying everybody having excuses, so I'm not gonna latch out at the chat or whatever. We fine. I'm saying Perry is what he is. It's my thoughts, right?
Yeah.
And
You're profound too.
because if I was to approach you and if I was white and said that, that person would be a racist. You would call that person a racist, but you know, it's to each his own.
No,
I'm good.
you are profound. You are profound in your way. And I love every time we have a chance to talk because I come away with something. And I'm not shading you, never, ever, ever. I just don't want nobody calling you ignorant because you're not.
No, that's okay. Perry, we would let that stuff roll off.
We took it as a
Of
joke.
course. You know what though?
Water off a duck's back.
Hey, Ashley, it's gone already.
Yeah, because
Let's continue.
even Cheryl tells a lot of, she gives a lot of good nuggets out here. And I just love coming here talking, especially Diva. Diva give them the good nuggets. Gabor give them shady but good nuggets. But the Mormon Church has different offshoots. You have the FLDS, which is Warren Jeffs and the little kids and all of that. You have that, and then you have the sister wife Mormons, and then and then you have Jehovah's Witness, who are also a cult, just like the Mormons, and then you got Scientology. Everything, and you just have to learn how. Like my cousins were Jehovah's Witness. They kept trying to get me to get in. They baptized me one summer. I was like, no, we ain't doing this. This is not what we doing. You have to sometimes, you like Adiva said, when you grow up in it, sometimes you don't recognize it. But I see the pain in Heather, and that's the only real thing I see in Heather is her pain. And her pain for not talking to her brother and her sister, especially her older brother, because he was really, really, really hurt. Really hurt. And I see that pain in there. And it pains me to see that pain.
All right, Corey, I don't mean to cut you off. I'm wrapping it up because we got a whole another hour ahead. Thank you so much for calling in. Take care.
Bye,
All right,
Corey.
let me read this last super chat and then we're out. I almost never catch your lives lately. I was baptized in a denomination of Christianity is cult. Oh, really? Cultist. As an adult, I was still brainwashed. Wow. I allow my children to come to their own conclusion and choose their path.
Yeah.
I guess anything could, if you don't have the right leaders, could be a cult. It's crazy.
Well,
all right, guys. So last night, and this is listen, I'll go ahead and give Andy Cohen credit. If he never would have picked this crazy state, we wouldn't have known about all of this and that it goes on, because I don't know if I'm ignorant. I never met a Mormon. I never met a cult leader or a person in a cult. So it opens your eyes up to other problems that go on in the rest of the world. And I mean, nobody's state is perfect, but we have different problems here in Vegas. We're like, another brothel? They have They have their own this religious stuff. It's crazy. If you know anything about it, please, if you have any information, let us know in the comments section. You know, if you know anything about it. I mean, I like the people calling in and giving us different opinions, and we joke around up here sometimes, but we all understand that this is a real thing.
Right.
These people are really scared, and this is all they know. And hopefully somebody will come across this video and it's a revelation that there's a different way of life. You don't have to live in fear. You don't have to live in poverty, giving all your money to the church. No human being is God. It's crazy, all of it. All right, guys, let's go ahead. I wanted to thank you for the super chats. You don't have to support the channel, and you do, so I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I want to thank everyone in the chat for helping in this conversation and really talking about this new way of life. I never talked about religion in any other reality TV show before. So it's an eye-opening experience. And Heather Gay, we're proud of you. Anybody got any last words, Diva?
Lisa Rinna needs to own it.
Thank you. You're right.
Gabor.
I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold.
Perry.
Look, the reason why I like this channel, because we all got an opinions and I can respect it, whether I agree with you or not. Mm-hmm. This is where we at, and this is the forum. This is the people's channel, and this is what we do.
Yeah, it's the people's channel. That's what we come to do. We come to talk. And so not only do we talk about this, we will be back in about a half hour with another video, because we got to talk about the shit show that they named Portia Family Matters. It was a joke. It was entertaining. Gabor cannot wait to talk about it. He's going to go off. All right, y'all, on 3, let's say bye. 1, 2, 3. Bye, guys.
Bye,